Hello everyone and welcome back. This is the Peacefire Witch, where on this channel we review things like tarot and oracle decks and other witchy things. On today's episode we're going to be doing an unboxing and first look at the Superlunaris Tarot. And I can show you right now, I just got this in the mail and I haven't even taken off the plastic yet. So this is going to be a true first look and walkthrough of the Superlunaris Tarot. Before I get started, I really quickly wanted to go over that you will discover I have a preference for tarot cards and what I like in tarot cards. Let me pull out really quick the Light Seers Tarot that we looked at last week. And I can kind of show you, I love really artistic cards. I like borderless cards. And I like cards that give you a lot of like the detail in them. I'm not a huge fan of pip decks, although I'm sure actually as I progress with tarot and I get to be more familiar with the cards and the meanings, I will get more into things like pip decks, which pip decks, if you don't know, are decks that kind of give you a vague like representation of the meaning of the cards. They're not like the 9 of Swords will just be 9 swords, or the 3 of Cups will just be 3 cups, and maybe a few other things thrown in there to let you know what card it is, but it doesn't give you a lot of like the artistic detail to help you spell it out. But I like that personally, and the Superlunaris Tarot is one that offers that. So I picked this up. It was kind of a like a spur of the buy. I saw it on somebody's Instagram and I was like, I need that deck. I must have that deck. So I picked it up. It came in the mail a couple days ago, so I'm super excited to open it up and take a look at it with you. So let's do that right now. So first things first, we're going to take a look at the guidebook. There is not much to it, but Superlunaris, belonging to a higher world, designed for personal development, transformation, and empowerment for all. Superlunaris Tarot will speak to your highest heart and self. There is not much to this book, so it doesn't go into a lot of explanation about each card. It just gives you the basic meaning. So the Suit of Wands, Suit of Cups, Suit of Swords, Suit of Pentacles, and on the back here we have the Major Arcana. And they just kind of give you a few keywords. Not really a whole lot to go off of, but I also enjoy that. I go back and forth between that because I do like a nice beefy guidebook, but I also am trying to get better at reading tarot without the use of a guidebook. So not having a super detailed guidebook is not a deal breaker to me. But if it's a deal breaker to you, just be aware this is all it is. But really, it's all it needs to be. If you follow me on Instagram, I am at the Peacefire_witch, and you will recognize this mug. This is my buddy. He comes everywhere with me. I love that mug. So first thing we're going to notice is it has this beautiful magnetic clasp and lift box. A nice space theme going on in there. Nothing written, but a very nice, solid, sturdy box. Another thing I really enjoy. So Superlunaris, belonging to a higher world again, and then a 78 card deck, a luminous and expressive reworking of the Rider-Waite-Smith system. So I'll refer to this as the RWS system going forward. I know my earlier ones I only said Rider-Waite, and it is the Rider-Waite-Smith, so RWS. RWS system with an energy and life force of its own, designed for personal development, transformation, and empowerment for all. So that is pretty much all the detail we get on the deck. Really quick before I get started on going through the deck, which as you can see I've already started, there is going to be a nudity warning on this one because there are a couple of cards that do show nudity. So if that bothers you or if you're uncomfortable in any way, now's a good time to click off. But if it doesn't bother you, it's keep on going. And already I see the gilding on here. And I love this. I think it's a huge disservice for tarot decks to not have that. Although if it doesn't, as you know from my previous videos, I do it myself. In fact, I will probably do a video on me doing that to a couple of decks at some point. All right, so beautiful rose gold, very shiny. You can even see where my finger touches a little bit. So this is it's not a matte. I mean, it is matte, but it's got a shine to it. Definitely more than, oh, maybe not. It feels shinier, but it actually has more of a texture to it than this is from the Muse Tarot. That was my daily card draw right there. So let's take a look at this. As I mentioned in my previous videos, the Fool is my favorite card in the tarot. So when I look at the Fool, you know, I kind of judge a lot of times an entire deck based on the Fool. And I will sometimes buy a deck. I just bought a deck the other day based solely on the Fool that I saw. So, yeah, the Fool is a card that I love. It has the dog, it has the person walking off the cliff, you know, kind of going on the adventure, but leaping off the cliff without really thinking too much into it. The Magician. So typically speaking, the Magician is represented as a person sitting in front of an altar, and it looks like the wands or the fire is represented. The cups are represented. I'm not sure if I see a representation of the pentacles or the swords, though. It might be in there, and I'm just not sure what I'm looking. Oh, right here on her hand is the pentacle. Yeah, maybe somebody can comment down below as to where the sword is represented. But this is a pretty standard Magician deck, but it is gorgeous. Look at her. Now, I know I mentioned in one of my last videos that I am not personally a fan of seeing myself reflected in tarot. I like seeing other people. Some people I kind of would view upon as being, you know, someone I would take advice from, I guess. And this deck really does that. Everyone in this deck just looks very, like they fit the card. The High Priestess looks incredibly knowledgeable. It has all the key symbols in there. You can see the galaxy in her stomach area there. Like well, if you're in the northern hemisphere, that is a waxing crescent moon. It's waning crescent. If you're in the southern hemisphere, I'm assuming that this is a northern hemisphere. So we're going to assume that's a waxing crescent. Oh, the Empress, beautiful. Look at that. So again, it is pulling in all of like the key symbols and everything that the RWS system pulls in, and then it's adding to this just gorgeous scenery. And I do think it's very important that, you know, diversity be shown in cards, and I love it. So I am a huge fan of cards that show a really strong diversity, and they're not just showing the same thing over and over. Like I like the RWS original cards, but they are very one-dimensional, whereas these kind of have a broader appeal, I think. Oh, this deck is gorgeous. The Lovers, interesting. Love that. Another card that I really usually enjoy, but it's not my favorite. My second favorite is coming up here in a minute. The Chariot, showing, I said that really funny, sorry. The Chariot. So her chariot is the wheelchair, giving her actually a freedom, which is an interesting way to look at that. And I love the dogs. Look at this guy. Look at his face. Beautiful card. Another waxing crescent moon and strength. And I love this card. Like I said in another video, I am a stickler for the strength cards. And pretty judgy actually of the strength cards. So this is one that I definitely love. This is actually the card I saw on Instagram, and the moment I saw it, I'm like, I need this deck. I don't care what the rest of the cards look like. I 100% need this deck or this card. So the strength card definitely comes through for me. The Hermit actually looks like somebody I know. Kind of love that too. The Wheel. Is it just me, or does Justice kind of look like a young Alanis Morissette? So it's got the balancing and the symbolism. Again, everything in this, like the symbolism is there, and I really love that. The Hanged One, serenading from the Hanged Man, probably because it's a woman. I like this card a lot. Very neat. This whole deck is very impressive to me. I like this one because it is death. You see kind of a ghostly figure here. There's fire. So we're getting the destruction, but then you're getting the new life growing out of it, which is what the deck actually means, or what the death card actually means. Temperance. Oh, love Temperance. The Devil. This is a cool one. I really like this one too. Not usually a huge fan of the Devil card. I love the Tower card too. I know most people hate it. The Tower card is one that, you know, you don't want it really necessarily to show up in a pull, but I always love looking at the actual card. Just inserted the nudity warning you saw earlier in the video. I just recorded it now because there's some nudity in here and it's very beautiful. I love the star. The Moon. Again, another gorgeous card. The Sun. I know a lot of people love the Sun and they look for this symbolism in the sun, the little baby basically on an animal of some sort. So this card delivers that. None of the other decks we've looked at yet have done that. Judgment. Oh, I didn't even notice this at first. There's the face up there. The World. Gorgeous. And now we are on to the minor arcana cards, and it's starting out with the Wands. So this is the Ace of Wands. So there is, you know, it doesn't tell you it's the Wands. It gives you the number up there. So you have to be aware that it is the Wands, but I think that's pretty, I mean, to me, it's pretty obvious. The Three of Wands. Oh, I love this one. Okay, I think this might be my new favorite card in this deck. The sky is just gorgeous. These, I love this card. Yep, favorite card in the deck so far. This is a very, like the typical Five of Wands, kind of the bodies being thrown together. It's very RWS. So again, it's really holding true to the typical RWS symbols. It's not straying really too far at all, which is kind of nice. Oops. The Seven of Wands wanted to jump out at me too. Wonder what that means. 8. The 9. Let's take a closer look. Oh, the artwork on this is just amazing. I saw maybe a handful of these cards before I purchased. Again, I knew from looking at the strength card that I wanted this deck, and so I purchased it based on that. So it does look like once you get to the, tell you when you get to the court cards here that you are in the court cards. So this is the Page of Wands, the Knight, Queen of Wands, little cat down there. So yeah, again, I purchased this because of the strength card solely, but I did get a chance to look at some of the others before I bought it, and I was just blown away by the artwork on this deck. This is my style deck. You know, it's different in a way from the Muse and from Lightseers, but it's very similar in other ways in kind of the feel. And I love borderless. I think that's amazing. And again, the gilding, it's a small thing that you can do to really bring a deck to life, I think. And I think it does a bit of a disservice. Oh, this was another card that I saw, the Three of Cups. Oh, let's see really quick, the Two of Cups. The Two of Cups is another favorite card of mine usually in decks. And yeah, this one does not disappoint at all. And the Three of Cups is another favorite. Again, she looks like someone I know, and she looks like someone I know. You guys hear my dogs moving around back there? Like I said, I have kids, I have dogs, there are people that live here, and they all make noise. And here we have these 4. So again, the symbolism of having the 3 cups in front of you, longing for where the 4th cup is. There it is coming out of like the ether over there. Again, just gorgeous. See, even the dark cards are beautiful. I love this one. Yeah. I really love how this deck maintains the key symbols and the the meaning. It doesn't change the meaning of any of the cards. It doesn't change the symbols. It just changes the scenery and the people in it. And I love it. It's very, very, very well done. Like, this looks like a place I've been. Beautiful. Like under the rainbow. I'm used to seeing more people in the Ten of Cups, but that is gorgeous. Again, all of these cards are just, they're bringing you to this amazing, almost fantasy world, but it's realistic too. It's a crazy combination of fantasy and realism that I just love. There's the Queen of Cups, the King of Cups, and now we're on to the swords. So the Ace of Swords, 2 swords, their waxing crescent moon there, 3 of Swords, beautiful, 4, this is one that also gets shown. I saw this one before I bought it, and again, the red sky and the being on the boat, and just she just feels like such a powerful presence to me. This was another card I was very drawn to. So it's this combination, this jumping back and forth that I like. I'm just loving this deck. I'm definitely feeling this deck. I think I'm going to start doing some pulls from this one. Intermix it with the Muse. This is a little bit of a darker deck. It's not, the Muse has that kind of uplifting and happy twist to every card that, I like when especially when I'm feeling down. I want a card or a deck that's going to bring me up. This is a card you pull when you want, like, some truth. You got to dig deep. This is a good shadow work card. Deck, in my opinion. Queen and the King. So now we are on to the Pentacles. So the last the last of the minor arcana. Gorgeous. Yeah, this is a great, beautiful deck. It's very diverse. It's showing different races, different genders, different body types. And again, it's staying very, very true to the RWS cards. Like, we could put these side by side almost, and they would look similar. It's just this is far more artistic and diverse. I like this one too. All right, just a couple left. That's the Knight. The Queen. Yes, this was another one. I've been waiting for this one because yet another one that I saw before I purchased the deck, and I just love, look at this little tiny bunny rabbit down here and this little fawn, and she is just gorgeous. I like the Queen of Pentacles, or in, the Muse deck, it was the Queen of Materials. It's also one of my favorite cards in almost every single deck I own. So, did not disappoint. So that is it. That is a look at the Superlunaris Tarot deck. I have not started working with this deck yet, as I just took the plastic off at the beginning of this review. But I am definitely going to start working with this deck a lot. And one thing I love about borderless decks is when you spread them out like this, it's just this like collage of color and art, and I just love that. So highly recommend this deck. You can purchase it on their website. I think it's also available through the creator on Etsy. I bought it directly from the website, and it got to me super fast. I actually ordered a couple of things on the same day, and this one arrived within like 2 or 3 days, and I'm still waiting on a couple of the other ones. So I will have more to review next week. Thank you for tuning in. Again, I am the Peacefire Witch. You can find me on Instagram at @thepeacefire_witch. And this has been a review of the Superlunaris Tarot. So great cards, great quality. The cardstock is like really, really thick. I mean, it's a quality deck. It feels like it's going to be pretty easy. Let's give it the shuffle. Let's shuffle it and see what it's like. And these are, of course, the first time I'm shuffling these. Oh, yeah, that's nice. If you like to shuffle your decks, this one shuffles very beautifully. So all around, beautiful deck. The back is gorgeous. It's borderless, and it comes with this fantastic, good quality box. And you know, it wasn't that expensive of a deck, so for what you get, I definitely think the quality far exceeds the cost.